good afternoon. My name is Debbie Jacobs, and I wanted to do a video to kind of put out there, something that I discovered along my healing process. I lived with depression, anxiety, and bipolar for most of my adult life. I was in therapy for over 10 years, taking, medications and everything, and really, that being my world of therapy and upset and mania and medications and psychiatrists and even like, psychiatric programs. And I've been, hospitalized. And what wasn't working for me, what wasn't helping, was all of that. None of that was helping me. It was not helping me get better and get to a place where I could, create happiness in my life. And things actually got really worse in my life, and it led me to seek out alternative ways of treatment. And I came across a life coach, and I felt understood. I didn't feel angry. I felt optimistic. I felt, inspired after just a couple of conversations. And in therapy, I always felt angry. I always felt not good about myself. Like I had just perpetuated, negativity. So I didn't look back on therapy. I started working with this woman, and I started working on my own self improvement. That was the treatment, learning new effective ways of being. The way that I was being wasn't serving me, and I was living in depression, anxiety, and bipolar. And a lot of it actually stemmed from the fact that my anger was so bad and my negative thoughts were so bad that I really, I kind of like saw outside of myself, and I said, oh my God, I gotta do something just about my thoughts, because here I am thinking these negative thoughts, and I'm not focused on creating happiness in my life because all my thinking is going to my anger because I was in a lot of pain and a lot of anger. So I wasn't able to, um, you know, uh, create a positive outcome in therapy. But when I started working on myself, I started working on ways to change the way I handled things so that I didn't create anger and I didn't create negative thoughts. And then my objective became to change everything so I don't create negative thoughts, I create positive thoughts. And to accomplish changing my thoughts from negative to positive, it requires changing my ineffective coping skills to effective coping skills that create positive thoughts. Ineffective coping skills create negative thoughts. And let me tell you something, that is a lot of negativity that I was creating that resulted in depression, anxiety, and bipolar. We get our negative thinking and our ineffective coping skills from our parents, from what's modeled, from our experience. That's how we develop it. But and that could lead to depression, bipolar, anxiety, other mental illness. But it's our parents that actually have the negative thoughts, the negative, ineffective coping skills, and the low self esteem, and that's what they teach their kids. So parents don't know if their child's going to end up with mental illness, if their child's going to end up with suicide, if their child's going to end up with self harm, if their child's going to end up in prison, if their child's going to end up with addiction or alcoholism, or being abused themselves or an abuser. Those are a lot of negative outcomes from negative thoughts, low self esteem, and negative, ineffective coping skills. Uh, and so when I went through the process of accomplishing positive thoughts, healthy self esteem, and positive, effective coping skills, through healing, you know, um, it really was like, wait a second, I just have negative thoughts and ineffective coping skills. That's not mental illness. That's learned behaviors. That's ingrained in the foundation of our being. Now that I'm healed, I am my authentic self. I am the person that I was meant to be. And being in depression, anxiety, and bipolar was my hurt self, was my ego self. So are they diagnosing, mental illness as a permanent, incurable disease when it's not? I mean, that would be my question after my healing experience and my awakening, because the healing experience is the spiritual awakening, and accomplishing positive thoughts and healthy self-esteem, is what it takes to awaken the beautiful, authentic self, the self that we were meant to be. That's being awake. I'm not in my ego self. I'm in my beautiful, authentic self, and I'm awake, and I'm a positive thinker with healthy self-esteem. And now my goal is to help other people awaken and accomplish their freedom and happiness from mental illness, and to keep kids off the path to negative thoughts, low self-esteem, and negative, ineffective coping skills for life. It's possible. I believe it. So I just wanted to do this video because you know what? It's something that we should all question. Go through the healing process first and then determine what your mental diagnosis is. Because maybe, you're fine. Maybe you do have a mental illness. But it's kind of like, like when a doctor, when there's like, when a doctor wants to assess something, and there's swelling or bruising around what they want to assess. They say, well, let the area heal first, and then we'll see, what's going on in that area. It's the same thing with our mental well-being. Let's make sure that, that we're not just hurt people with the diagnosis. That happened to me. I am living my life, in my authenticity, not my hurt, with positive thoughts and positive, effective coping skills, not negative thoughts and negative, ineffective coping skills like anger, fear, worry, anxiety, insecurity, jealousy, nervousness, uncertainty. I mean, there's a lot of negative behaviors in our behaviors that don't serve us. What does it do me to get annoyed at someone? I don't want to create upset and unhappiness for myself. I don't want to create a situation that becomes hostile and aggressive. So if somebody is annoying me, I want to shut off that coping skill. I want to say, hey, you know what? I don't want to get annoyed. I'll be patient with this person. That way I don't create upset for myself. I don't create negative thoughts for myself. And I don't create a situation out of something that isn't a situation. Creating a problem when there doesn't have to be, So, it's been amazing to have different coping skills. It really changes our whole life. Having different thinking, having healthy self-esteem, So, I just wanted to put a video out there and, hope people find this helpful, and encourage people to, be open and consider making positive change, going through the healing process. I created a healing process out of my 5-year experience. It took me 5 years working with life coaches, reading tons and tons of books, going to retreats and seminars and workshops and empowerment programs and audio programs on thinking and all this stuff to change my own thinking. I created a healing process that I hope takes a lot less than 5 years, because 5 years is a long time. And the objective is to get to your freedom and happiness as soon as possible, to accomplish positive thoughts, healthy self-esteem, and positive effective coping skills as soon as possible. And positive effective coping skills are like assertiveness, effective communication, effective listening, effective interpersonal skills, social skills, not taking things personal, minding our own business, learning not to make a problem when there doesn't need to be a problem. If somebody says something, let it go rather than criticize them. You know, we learn how to not project our negativity onto situations. It helps. It increases our happiness and the quality of our life. Not living in fear, not living in a comfort zone, not living with anxiety. It's getting rid of all of our flaws and replacing them with positive, effective coping skills, because our flaws are our negative, ineffective coping skills that stem from our hurt, that create negative thoughts. We can't have our flaws and be positive thinkers. And we can't, you know, uh, create negative thoughts and have healthy self esteem. We've got to make positive change, radical change, a total transformation of self, from the mental illness self to the healed self, from the hurt self to the healed self, from the negative self to the positive self, from the inauthentic self to the authentic self, from the ego self to the beautiful authentic self, the self that we were meant to be, living with freedom and happiness, not in negativity and hurt. So, all right, my name is Debbie Jacobs. I just wanted to do this quick video. I hope that everybody has a good day, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.